Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Hello, folks. Welcome to About the House. This is your audio university of knowledge on everything about your home, from construction to maintenance, remodeling, real estate, and even investing. And we also have a forever library through our podcast system. Each and every week we have a new subject or a trade that we're trying to, educate the folks on. And with that podcast, there's just so much information you're going to get in this show that it's impossible to grasp it all. Get a pen and paper, write these questions down. You can always reach out to us on our Facebook page and also our guest Facebook page, our web page. Hey, and I'm going to give you that information in a little bit, but hey, this is Troy Galloway, your humble host. I am the owner of Galloway Building Services. Just like this show, we're one of a kind. There isn't another company in the Midwest that provides the unique services we do every day throughout the Midwest, helping people with construction consulting. We help people making sure that if they have any questions about how the job's being done, if it's being done right or not. We do new construction inspections, whether that's a brand new home, which we do a ton of, or if it's a remodel project, which we do just probably as many of them too. So we want to make sure the job's being done right. We also do commercial and residential building inspections. So if you're buying or selling a home or a building, you want to make sure you know what you're buying. You give us a call. And we also do construction resolution, conflict resolutions, expert witnessing, in case it ever has to move to that level of expertise that you need for any litigation. Heaven forbid that happens. But, sadly it does in this world. And I've been in the construction business now for I've been telling people for 42 years, but I guess I had, without thinking about it, we're 43 years. We had our anniversary. And I've been working in the St. Louis, or actually in the Midwest section right here for over, since 1986. So long time, August of 86. So we're growing, and our motto of our company is that we're here to make sure that you're getting what you paid for. The job is being done right, and you're not getting ripped off. So give us a call, Galloway Building Services, 636-394-3112. Now, every week I always like to talk about our premier sponsors, and we really lucked out here today. J&H Properties, real estate brokers. We always talk about how great they are, and I get calls all the time. People saying, man, I am so happy, Troy, you have introduced her to us and her company to us. I actually have the owner of J&H Properties right here with us today. And Ramona, jump right in here and tell us a little bit about your company. Tell us how long you've been in business, and we just get right at it.
Well, thank you, Troy. Thank you for inviting me here today. I appreciate that. Actually, we've been in business. I've been a broker, actually, for 18 years, and I've had my license since 1987. I've become a real estate agent back then. So I've got a lot of experience in the field, and I love what I do. I love helping people find that home that they're looking for their dreams, and to sell their home for the price that they're wanting, and just make everything, work and make everybody happy.
Yeah, well, it's a massive chaos, isn't it? I mean, when you're going through the process, and I guess you kind of like the chaos tamer?
Well, apparently I do. When I first meet people, sometimes they have to sell a home, sometimes they don't in order to purchase. But if they have to sell a home, we go through everything, what they need to do to their house to get it ready for the market, and put it on the market and get the advertising out there and all the different websites that we use, and get it sold for them. And in the meantime, find a home for them for the future, what they're looking for, how many bedrooms in the area, and the school districts. That's very important, the school districts, especially if they have children. So that's what we do.
That's one of the things that people tell me when they call me or they email me or put it on our Facebook page, is that the personal touch about helping people get their houses prepped. Yeah, but many other things. But what would you recommend as some of the higher or most needy things? I know that the other day you was talking about cleaning the house with the dog hair. It
happens. Just that cleaning is the basics, really. But we go through everything. I mean, we look at every room. We look at the basement. We look at the outside, and we give them ideas about what they could do, to make their home worth more money. So that's our goal, to get them the most money that we can get for their property in a timely fashion.
Well, and also to move the product or the home as soon as possible.
Absolutely, exactly. So the sooner they can get that work done, the sooner we can get it on the market, and we can get it advertised, and we can get it sold for them.
So what other ideas can somebody do to help prep their home other than cleaning it? We talk about home staging, but
yes.
I think before we even get to home staging, isn't there some other things you'd like to see done, like curb appeal?
Oh, absolutely. Curb appeal, the outside. When somebody pulls up to your home, you want them to think, oh, this home is awesome. This is where I would love to live. And I would love to be able to tell my friends, come to see me, and this is my address. And when they pull up, they say, wow, this is awesome. This is a beautiful home. And on the inside, decluttering is a big deal. The less things that you have in your home, the bigger the rooms look, the cleaner it looks. And it just gives a better impression, as well as home staging. Home staging can be used as well, but sometimes you can use your own furniture and not to have to put that much money into it and still make it just look really nice. And people want to get in there and they want to make it their home.
Well, yeah, and home stage has been around for quite a bit, but I also know that I'm talking to you, that you've also had some customers that have some pretty neat antiques and such. But I want to ask you a question, because this is one of my things that I preach a lot, and I got a lot of videos on. But tell the folks how important is it to pick up your credit cards, your money, things like that,
Oh, my gosh. Yes, it's very important. And a lot of people don't think about that. It's not just the credit cards. It's any cash that you have living or laying around in your drawers. Check your drawers. Don't just leave it in your drawers, because sometimes people go through the homes and an agent's not always there all the time being able to watch them, because there's 2 or 3 people sometimes with them. The other people can go in the other rooms. They can check drawers, that kind of thing. So it's very important to pick those up. And medicine, any kind of medicine that you're taking, keep it under lock and key. Take it with you. Put it in your car just for a short period of time. But remove all those things and don't entice the people, because sometimes that's what they're there for. They're not really there to look for your home.
I remember that one time you was telling me about the medicines, and I'm glad you brought that back up again, that they don't take all your medicine, they just take a few.
Right.
And you wouldn't even know that they and these people know what they're doing.
Same thing with like checks and things like that. They could take a check out between, the other checks in the checkbook, and you'd never know it for a very long time. So a lot of those things like that. But, yeah, especially drugs, especially with, the issues that we have, with drug overdoses and such, that's going on right now. So, yeah, it's very important, between the drugs and the money and any valuable jewelry, too, as well. Make sure that you take that with you or keep it under lock and key where nobody can get to it, because, it's very important. You don't want to lose your things. Yeah,
absolutely. And so I know that's a lot of the bigger, or we'll say the larger companies, they're so fast of moving product every 30 minutes, I think some of them say, Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. But on the same token, this is something that you help your people with, so they put them to rest assured.
Oh, absolutely. We do personal service. And that way we can sit down and go through all of all the issues with our buyers and our sellers. And we want to make sure that we are fulfilling the goals that they're wanting, not what we want, but for what they want. What do they want to sell their house for? What is the reason, and where are they going? We want to make sure that, we comply with everything that they're needing and do our best. And we give them that personalized service so we can be of the utmost of service to them.
Well, in the next segment, I'd like to, if we jump into a little bit about some of the different services that you do outside of just selling and buying a home, and things that they can expect from you that they might not get. And we'll talk about that a little bit on the next segment if we could, because I think this is one of the things. What I'm doing is I'm just borrowing from everybody that tells me what they like about you. So I'm just trying to feed it back. But, well, folks, hey, this is Troy Galloway, and this is About the House. I am the owner of Galloway Building Services, and we're going to be wrapping up this segment here. But before we do, I wanted to give a shout-out here to Classic Flooring Solutions, hardwood specialist Jacob Abraham's the owner. We're going to pass out his number one more time before the show is over. He is a third-generation floor man, great company, great guys. 314-302-7222. That's 314-302-7222. And we will be right back with Ramona, owner of J&H Properties. You guys got to have to check out her Facebook page. You're going to get your pen and paper out. I want you to bombard this lady. She just loves to talk. If there's anything that she does, she loves to take her time and help each and every one of you out and guide you through the process. Thank you. We will see you on the flip side.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Welcome back, folks, to About the House. This is your audio university of everything about their home. This is Troy Galloway, your humble host. I am the owner of Galloway Building Services. We are a certified inspection company. We help people from not only buying and selling their home. This is how we met, Ramona of J&H Properties. But we also help with construction conflict and making sure you're getting what you're getting. Make sure you're getting what you think you're getting when you buy a home or build a home. But Ramona, as we was at break time, Joey, our producer, which is top notch. I can't brag enough about this guy. But he had a great question. We're going to embarrass you and ask you, J&H Properties. Where did that come? How'd that come about?
Well, actually, I'm not asked that question a whole lot. But that being said, when J&H started business 18 years ago as a broker, the company is named for Jason and Harley, which are my sons. So they were a little bit younger back then, but that is the name of the company. It is named after them, Jason and Harley.
So, do they get any royalties from your sales?
No, sir, they don't.
Well, I know they're listening to this show today.
They're here for support.
Oh well, guys, you can say I tried. Hey, well, I wanted to follow up on some of the things because I know people think, why do I need an agent? Anybody could buy and sell a home, but there's tons more that you do other than just that you bring to the table. Talk to us a little bit, maybe like guiding us, or mortgage. You was here on a podcast here with Rachel before of Central Bank, and you guys was talking about different mortgages. Kind of help us, not that you work just with Rachel, but you work with a lot of folks. How would you guide somebody into, say, more? We'll start with mortgages, and then we'll go to some of the other services that you help people with.
Well, actually, I think in real estate, you really need someone that really has experience in the field. And I say that for many, many reasons, because I was new, too, and did not know anything what I was doing. And I have learned so much. In 32 years, you do learn a lot. So that being said, when someone comes to me and they say, I want to buy a house, they're not. One of the first questions is, are you pre-qualified? And that is such an important question, because you can take someone out and they can tell you, okay, I qualify for a $200,000 home, and you get out there in the field and they write a contract, they don't qualify. So you've not only wasted your time, you've wasted their time. So what you really need to do is find out, are you pre-qualified? First thing you need to do is talk to a mortgage lender. And I always give them 3 different names of mortgage lenders that I've worked with or I've heard really good reviews about, and then they can call them and they can make up their mind. Is that a person that they click with? Is that a person that they want to work with? And do they have the programs exactly that they're looking for in order to buy their next home? So those are really important. Also, insurance agents, same thing. Everybody needs insurance when you go to buy a property. So that being said, it's something that you need to check out. Check out with your own insurance company, but check out other companies too and make sure you're getting the best deal for the property that you're purchasing.
Well, you're talking about the insurance company like Mike Caples. He did a show with us here just recently. And, folks, you could grab his podcast, Farmers Insurance, Mike Caples, great guy. But every one of these insurance companies have different programs. Like they had one for veterans. And so you can help guide people like that. I mean, all these different programs at the different insurance companies. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
Or a lot of them. The same thing with mortgages, more so with mortgages than with insurance. Because mortgages, they're always changing. So, as a broker, you can't keep up with all the changes that's going on with mortgages and lenders. But what you can do is people in the field and you talk to them constantly. And if you have someone that calls and say you want a VA loan, you need a VA loan. And a lot of VA loans right now are really great products. They really are. They're low in interest rates. You don't have to have a down payment. And there's just so many things that really would draw you towards that. But not all lenders offer the VA loans. So you really need to get with a lender that has those. That's just one example. There's so many.
Well, like Mike Caples, they actually are Farmers Insurance. He was telling us about how they actually have special programs for veterans. So that would be, through the insurance company. And then so you get a good program with, sounds like you get a good program with your mortgage broker. You get a good program set up by your help and guiding them with the insurance company. And one of the things that I hear a lot about you is that you literally have told people, and I don't know if I should say this or not, but you tell them this is not a good house. This is not a good deal. Talk about that a little bit. How come you would know that versus the majority of agents?
Well, actually, my husband's been in construction for over 40 years. And that being said, we have done, a lot of real estate projects together as well. Rehabs, new construction, a lot. So that being said, I've seen a lot of things going on in the field out there with homes that, may have, foundation issues or a lot of other issues. And, I always tell them, you can always get your own home inspector, and of course Galloway Building Services is one of those. But you always get your home inspection, and go from there. If you really love that house, even though you see cosmetic things maybe on the surface, you just don't know what is down deep in that home, what is wrong with it, until you actually get a home inspection from a qualified home inspector. That's really, really needed on any home that you buy, even new construction. New construction can have issues as well. So you need that home inspector to do that for you. So, but if there's something wrong, sometimes you have to consider that even before you even get a home inspection. What do you think the cost is going to be to fix this? There can be so many issues out there.
Well, you talk about home inspectors, and of course, naturally, I would be like to do all of yours, but you can't give us, you can't just give it to one person.
Oh, no.
That you have to give tell us the legality of why you can't just say, hey, use my mortgage broker, use my insurance guy, use my inspector. Tell us the legal ramifications of this.
Well, you need to give people options, because say if you say, okay, I want you to use this home inspector, he's really great. Why do I think he's great? Is it because I've used this guy before and I really know he's great, or is there some other reason? And I've had people come to me and say, this agent said to use this home inspector, and they were in cahoots together. So he would pass anything because the real estate agent told him to call them, and they were in cahoots, and they just said it was completely fine, and it wasn't fine. They come back later and found a lot of things wrong with the property that the home inspector never called, and he should have. And it was all because they were working together. It does happen a lot, but, to always be legal and on the safe side, always give, several different recommendations or names and numbers, even if it's not a recommendation because you don't know that person. Give them different lists, people to call.
That's a great idea. Now, one of the things that I often tell people when I refer you, because I can refer as many as I need, but I don't have any laws that said that, but is your construction level of experience. Now, a lot of these guys girls think that they're pretty sharp, but I mean, heck, you've been doing it in 40 some years. Wasn't your daddy in construction also?
He was. He was in construction ever since I was a child. So yes, absolutely, for a very long time. Yes, he was in construction. So there's so many things to know about construction. There really is. I mean, so many things can happen, and even in construction world, everything changes. I had an incident.
Well, share that with hold that thought, please, because we're going to wrap. I know we want to wrap this segment up. Please forgive me. Don't mean to be rude, but folks, we are wrapping up this segment. I'm probably in big trouble now. I'm probably never going to get another referral. All jokes aside, hey, thanks you for listening to About the House with Troy Galloway, and we are with J&H Properties owner Ramona, and she is here to help you and answer your questions. Get that pen and paper out, because you're going to want to contact her to ask, and she's going to help guide you. We talk about how we might even tell about how she stays up and helps people above and beyond Call of Duty. I got the look. Anyway, thank you, folks. We will see you on the flip side.
Sponsored by Troy Galloway and Galloway Building Services, your top choice for professional home inspections in the St. Louis area. GallowayBuildingServices.com. Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Welcome back, folks, to About the House. This is Troy Galloway, your humble host, owner of Galloway Building Services, certified construction consulting and inspection company. We have back here with Ramona of J&H Properties, and I know that she has probably experienced some pretty wild stories out there when you and why it's important to have a real estate agent. But tell us a couple of your stories at least. I know you got plenty.
Well, the one story that I do like to tell people, because it is important. It's important to know what could happen if these things aren't called out. And one of them was, I had a house that I had the buyer, not the seller. So my buyer wrote a contract on this house, and we had the inspection done. And the plumbing stack got called. And what I mean by that is the inspector said that plumbing stack needs to be replaced, which is an expensive item. It truly is. It's about $2,500, right? Give or take about $500 in there. So, but it's an expensive product. So
now you're talking about just the repair of it, not the total replacement of it.
Well, yeah, just the repair of it. Mm-hmm. But replacing it, that's what we wanted done. It could be a lot more than that. It depends on your plumber. They all have to be licensed plumber, and actually they have to be a licensed plumber that is listed with St. Louis County, which is very important. Because in the municipality, you can have it replaced, but if you don't go through the county and they don't pull permits, it's not done by a licensed plumber. It's done incorrectly. And that being said, what could happen if this was done, which in this case they did do it, they did not pull a permit, they did not go through the county. So if I had not have caught that issue, then it literally falls back on my buyer. If we would have closed and that not have been done properly, then when my buyer went to sell that home, then it would have cost him, because the county would have came in and said, I'm sorry, you didn't pull a permit, which means you have to rip that stack back out again, you have to have a licensed plumber, you have to get a permit, and it has to be replaced. So in actuality, that could have ended up costing my buyer thousands of dollars. So the seller wasn't happy, but it got done correctly.
Tell us about open permits. What's the ramification if I buy a home and there's open permits, so they never get closed out? What happens there? That is
a great question, because it can cost a buyer, when he goes to sell his house, thousands of dollars, just like this guy here. Open permits are when, say, I am a seller of a home and I went and got a permit on, say, an electrical issue. I went through the county, but I never closed it out. I never finished the job. So when you go to sell that home, they're going to have all these open permits out there. They're going to make whoever the owner is at that time is going to be responsible for those open permits, and they're going to have to pay. Sometimes not only pay the money to the county, but they're also going to have whatever it is, that item ripped out, whether it's an electrical box. In that other example, a plumbing stack, they're going to have to totally rip it out and redo it, do the valid permits at that time, which can cost thousands of dollars. And the big thing here is when you go to close on your house, a title company, now they go and they search the title and make sure that there's no liens on the property. They do not, in any case, at least that I'm ever aware of, do they ever check open permits with the county. It's just something that's never been done. So they check unless there's a lien on that title, it won't get caught until you sell it, and then it'll be the county that comes in and catches you.
So when they get an open permit like that, they're going to want to come in here and see what's done and not completed.
Absolutely.
And who do they charge? Do they charge the
current owner at that time? And it doesn't matter what the job is. I mean, it can be work that was done behind the drywall, electrical work. And if it was, they can come in and they can make them rip out the drywall, the electrical, and start all over.
Yeah, well, then how would you know if you're buying, if you're what they call it, FSBO?
For sale by owner?
For sale by owner, how would you actually know? Now, we have a lot of real estate investors also listening to this show, so I bet you 10 to 1 they're taking a note right now, making sure,
Everybody should.
Yeah, what
That's
was important. I was just talking to somebody here the other day, and they were saying about how the city came back and hammered them for thousands of dollars on permits that had not been completed and whatnot. I can't mention his name, but he knows who I'm talking about because he's been on the show, and he's an awesome fella. Everybody knows him. He got a great real estate club. Well, folks, I appreciate you listening to the radio, or listen to our show today about the house with Ramona of J&H Properties, and we will going to come back, and we got a whole bunch more questions. This is just get your pen and paper. We're also going to get out here. So how you're going to get a hold of her, phone number, and things like this, so as that, just give her a call. Just talk to her. You don't have to, she'll educate you about, even if you're in the need. I know something we want to talk about for sure, and that's if I'm not ready. But how you can help them. Well, folks, thank you, and we will see you on the other side. This is Troy Galloway, owner at Galloway Building Services. Thank you. Welcome, folks, to About the House. We are jumping right back in here. My name is Troy Galloway. I am your humble host, owner of Galloway Building Services, a certified construction, consulting, and inspection company. Now, Ramona, the market's been kind of crazy out here. I really don't know what to think of it, and I know none of us really get absolute facts. Tell us about the market. How you found out? How do you keep up with it?
Well, actually, inventory is down, and I mean we get reports all the time from the Realtor Association that we belong to, and it's really great information. Inventory has been down actually for quite a while, about 23% from last year, 2018. Actually, the inventory of the homes for sale is 4,670, which, like I said, is about 23%. And the closed amount of sales is down 5.7%. Median prices, there's the good news. The good news is it's up 3.1% from last year. So a median sales price of a home right now is $221,500, which that's awesome news. That is absolutely awesome news. As well as condo and townhomes. Now those median sale prices have also jumped. They've jumped a little bit more, actually 3.7%. So the median price on a condo and or a townhome right now is $155,500. That is the best news ever. But the month supply of inventory is actually down almost 23% from last year, and that's on residential homes. And condos and townhomes is down 5.6%, which that's not near as bad. But right now it is a seller's market. There's still a lot of inventory out there, but to find that right home at the right price, it can be a challenge sometimes, and that's what we're here for. We're here to help you find that, and get you in the market and get you out there to find that house that you're looking for.
So if it's up 3-point-something% since last year, that you're not going to get a CD or anything for that. So that's a great investment. So you said it was a seller's market, but help me out. It seems like it's also great for the buyers, because if it's going up, even though it's maybe a little more difficult, it sounds like a great time. It
is a good time. Actually, it's a great time right now because rates are so low. I mean, you can get mortgage rates out there as low as, I've even heard some a little lower on a 15-year, 2.7, which is awesome. That's a 15-year. So, but even a 30-year, you're talking right around the 4s right now. So the rates are really, really good. So, and prices on the medium home has gone up. So if you want to get that home, get it now before the prices on those raise anymore, and you've got a great rate.
So get a good loan and get a home that's going up in value, and
absolutely,
and then it's win-win for everybody.
It is
for
win-win.
The seller and buyer. Sounds like
absolutely. So if you're in the market, then now is time to get busy with that. And if your credit's just a little bit borderline on that, well, we can help you with that too. We have lenders that we work with, and they work with the clients and they help them out to get their credit where it should be in order for you to get a good rate. Sometimes your credit might be a little bit lower than you want it to be, and you can get a loan, but sometimes your rate's just a little bit higher than you want. So work on that credit a little bit and get that great rate and buy that house today. They're out there. There's some great deals.
So the inventory is a little bit low. What's causing that? Is it because we're not building houses fast enough, or is it pent up need? Or
well, I think that is a lot of the problem, and they are starting to build a lot more. I mean, there's a lot of new homes going up right now all over the St. Louis area. If some of the older homes, they just need a little bit of fixing. Somebody go in and look at a house and they don't quite like it, but sometimes they have a little bit of problem of visualizing how that home would look if they have a contractor come in, take a look at that, and make that home their own. Sometimes you can make a good deal like that. Make them come in and have them come in and look at it, and they like the home, have that contractor come in, give them a few ideas of what they could do, make it their own, and they love it just as well as they do another home.
I actually had some folks telling me the other day, and I guess you've already closed that loan or that house out, but they was having a new home built in a subdivision, and I know you work with some of these builder-friendly subdivisions, but they was bragging about how they felt like, I have somebody on my side, doesn't cost me any more money, and somebody watching, make sure that the process is being done right. Explain that a little bit about how that works.
Well, most of the time, when we work with a client, like when we go to show a home, and this is true for all realtors, when they come in to show a home, they're working with the buyer, not the seller. It depends on, what agency, how are you working with that client. Most of the time, people don't know, but when you bring somebody into a home, you are actually working for that seller's agent. Unless you have a contract signed working with that agent, that buyer is actually has no representation. So if you want to work with a buyer, have them sign that contract, work with that agent specifically. They can work for you.
So get the document if you're a buyer. Make sure that you get your own. Don't cost you a thing. I'm asking a question. Make
Absolutely.
Sure don't cost them a thing, and yet they are going to make sure that they're represented 100%.
Right, and that's normally how we work. We work with the buyers, and they have it signed. They have a signed document that we are paid by the seller, but we work for the buyer.
That's a good point.
That is a great way to work with somebody.
Oh, yeah. I'll make sure somebody's watching your back. Well, folks, this has been an awesome show. We're going to wrap it up in the last segment. Catch us on the other side. We're going to give you all the information you're going to need to get a hold of this J&H Properties, and so you can get the quality service that everybody's bragging about. Thank you. See you on the other side.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Welcome, folks, back to our show, About the House. This is Troy Galloway, your humble host, owner of Galloway Building Services. And we are just wrapping this last of our show up here with Ramona, owner of J&H Properties. And Ramona, tell the folks how's the best way of finding you and your phone numbers and, just hours of contact, all this stuff. So they can have the same quality service other people have already been bragging about.
Well, we would love to hear from you. Yes, give us a call at 314-602-4835. You can give us a call anytime. If we don't answer, leave us a message, and we will get back to you just as soon as possible. We always are returning calls. That is our key priority. So, and you can also reach us at jnhproperties.llc@gmail.com. So,
and you got a Facebook page too, right?
Yes, it's jnhrealestate.com.
Well, now, what is the phone number one more time, and how late so a lot of times we don't have time to call people till after work. How late could people call you?
Oh, please, call until 8, 9 o'clock at night. And like I said, if for some reason we don't answer, there's a lot of times we're still out in the field at that time of night. Believe it or not, we can be, and even on the weekends. So please give us a call anytime. Like I said, just leave us a message if we don't answer, but we always try to answer. But if we don't, just leave us a message, and we will absolutely return your call just as soon as possible.
What's that phone number one more time?
314-602-4835.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you finally come on to the show. I brag about you, and everybody I talk to loves you, and so I really did want to have this opportunity. I know you're a little bashful, and but you've done a great. We really enjoyed you coming on to the show and visiting with us today. And folks, she just give her a call. You hear me every week talk about her and her company and the folks that work with her. It's like working with family, except this family actually they all love each other and take care of each other. So, as I say about family might not be necessarily a good plug. We all know that. But anyway, may I not digress. Folks, I want to give a shout out to just awesome company, Classic Flooring Solutions. Jacob Abraham, third generation. I have known these people, and this father, I didn't know Grandpa, but I knew the dad. I know the son. Jacob's running the show now. You're never going to have somebody that cares as much as they do. What's also I love about this company is that they bring old-fashioned, not only skill level, but integrity to the job. And so give them a call, J&H Properties. And their phone number is 314-302-7222. And that is Classic Flooring Solutions, 314-302-7222. Now, and also, Ramona, give her a call, 314-602-4835. Next week, we're going to have another great show coming on. I want you to catch that. We're going to be having a water company coming on here shortly. It's going to talk about St. Louis water. We're going to have that one's coming up pretty quick. We also got people coming up, brick masons. We got some really fabulous shows. So stay tuned. It only gets better. And we're just having a ball, and we so appreciate all of you. God bless you for listening to our show. May we just cannot tell you how much thankful we are. And we also want to say how thankful we are for Joey, our producer. We just couldn't do this show without him. He even jumps in here with some great questions himself. So we thank you, and we will see you next week.
Sponsored by Troy Galloway and Galloway Building Services, your top choice for professional home inspections in the St. Louis area. GallowayBuildingServices.com.